We are now officially allowed to say the C word. Hi everyone, it's Tash and welcome to another recipe video. And today, because it is December and we are officially within the Christmas period, we are going to be making gingerbread waffles. Timestamps are down below in the description if you want to skip the initial blah blah, but stick around in case you learn something about this recipe while I talk about it before we make it. These waffles are going to be crisp on the outside and soft on the inside, a little bit less so in terms of contrast when compared to my crisp and fluffy waffles recipe, which I'll link up above and down below now, because in that recipe we're using both corn flour and plain flour to create a sort of light batter. In this one we're using all wheat flour, and we're also going to add in some syrups because you can't have a good gingerbread without treacle and golden syrup, which is also going to weigh our batter down, but in a good way because we want these waffles to be a little bit dense and sticky. We're aiming for a gingerbread biscuit / gingerbread cake hybrid here. Because we're adding syrups as well as the actual sugar itself, these waffles will be a bit on the sweet side. Not overly sweet, not even dessert sweet, but sweet enough that you might actually just want to snack on them by itself like a cake. I actually like to eat my crisp and fluffy waffles, the plain ones, by themselves because they're actually not that sweet and they can actually be eaten savoury, but these ones are true sweet waffles. I probably will add a little bit of honey to them at the end though, just for a treat. This is quick and easy, so suitable for Christmas Day if you're busy, or just any day really if you're feeling like a fancy but very quick breakfast. So with all that said, let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. Let's start with the dry ingredients. Here I have 160 grams of plain flour, and I'm going to add 1 teaspoonful of baking powder, 2 tablespoonfuls of light muscovado sugar, a pinch of salt, and now we have the spices. We have 1 teaspoonful of ground ginger, half a teaspoonful of cinnamon, half a teaspoonful of ground nutmeg, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. So it's spicy stuff. Let's give that all a stir together. And now let's start to add our wet ingredients. Let's add 1 egg, 2 tablespoonfuls of golden syrup, 2 tablespoonfuls of black treacle, 80 grams of unsalted butter which we've melted and cooled a little, and I'm going to start pouring this in and mixing. And now we're going to loosen up the mixture with 230 millilitres of milk, and I'm just going to gradually add this in and stir. Lovely, let's grab our waffle maker. I've got my waffle iron all preheated here, so let's fill her up. Luckily mine beeps when it's done, which is very handy. Obviously cook yours to your machine's instructions. Oh, these are so soft, wow, lovely. Rescue it, pop it on here, and let's repeat until our batter is all finished. By the way, I have a syrup hack for you. So you know syrups are super sticky, especially dark treacle, black treacle. You get it on your spoon or in your measuring container, like this. And you have to spend ages shaking it out. You have to get in there with your finger and scoop it off because it just sticks, right? A good hack, which I should have used just now, I usually do but I forgot, is you have to oil your spoon first, or whatever you're using to measure. Whoops, that's a little bit much. So wipe it around the spoon. We're basically greasing the spoon, like so. The minimal amount of oil will not affect the overall recipe itself. Squeeze our syrup in and dump it out. How good was that? Just a little bit stuck. Even then, give it a tap and it is clean. Let's try another one, see if it will do it again. I just realised I left a strip of syrup on the counter. I'm gonna have to clean that. And again, how satisfying is that? Give it a little dab to get the last drops off. Lovely. Anyway, that's a good hack if you're using honey, syrups, that sort of thing. You have to measure it out so it doesn't stick to whatever you're using to measure it. This makes exactly 4 of these sized waffles, by the way. Here are 2. My last one is in the iron, and I have put one on a plate, which I'm now going to photo. That looks gorgeous. Now, these are actually sweet enough for me, but I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of honey over, just for a little extra sweetness. This smells epic. Warming Christmas spices. Where's my fork? Going to get a little bit here. Should have used a knife. I never learn. And by the way, I like to use slightly salted butter to serve with my pancakes or waffles, especially with a drizzle of syrup, because I love that sweet salty contrast. Cheers! Perfect Christmas breakfast. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me a lot of Lebkuchen. You know, those thick, slightly soft German gingerbread biscuits. You usually find them at Christmas markets. Delicious. Oh, these would be lovely served piping hot straight from the waffle with a dollop of ice cream as well. But equally good lightly cooled on the wire rack so it's a little bit crisp on the outside still for breakfast. It's all up to you. This is a multi-purpose recipe. Breakfast, dessert, dinner, I'm not judging. Some days are just breakfast for dinner days. Gosh, but these are super good. So there you go, easy gingerbread waffles. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe video, and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com, follow me on Instagram, I'm tashcakes.tastes, and find me on TikTok too, I'm tashcakes there too, but my handle is food in slow motion. Got tongue tied for a second there. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Give this video a like if you'd like to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I will see you all next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. This is a chilli plant, by the way. I managed to grow 3 over the spring and summer. Not as many as last year. I grew loads last year. This year didn't have a very good crop. Neither with tomatoes. I only produced 3 tomatoes, but apparently chilies overwinter well if you bring them inside and don't let them freeze. So let's see if it will fruit again.